Dear students, in this video, we are going to learn about revaluation account, an account which is created when there is reconstitution of firm. In simple words, in all the partnership chapter, you have to find revaluation account. Let's look into the screen. What does revaluation account mean? Revaluation account is exactly the profit and loss account what you created last year when we are doing sole proprietorship. If I have to redefine revaluation account, I can just say that it is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. Now, when we are doing partnership, whenever there is a change in profit sharing, there would be always a change in the value of assets or liabilities. So what happens if the value of asset decreases? For example, depreciation. So it's mentioned over here, if the asset value decreases, you have to debit revaluation. It's a loss. Same thing, what happens if a liability is waived off? Let's say a creditor is not traceable, you don't have to pay. If the liability is going down, that means a gain, so we are recording it over here. Let us understand some of the examples given over here. These are the most common examples which might come in your exam. Asset depreciated. What would be the impact on revaluation? It is DR, that is debited. Creditors waived off is a gain, so credit side. Bad debts, you all know what is bad debt. It's a loss for a business, so revaluation is debited. There is a claim of 10k and you have a WCR, that is workman compensation reserve of 8,000. It means that you made a loss of 2,000 because your reserve cannot cover the entire claim. So the loss of 2,000 would be recorded in the revaluation. There is a investment fluctuation reserve of 10,000 and the fluctuation in the investment is 8,000. What happens in such case? There is no loss because you have a reserve which covers the fluctuation. Provide provision for doubtful debts. For this chapter, just try to understand provision for doubtful debts means a kind of a liability. So if you want to increase your liability, it means it's a loss for you. So if you see over here liability increased, you post it in the debit side. Asset to be increased by 2k and below that it's written bills payable in balance sheet is 2k reduced to 1.5k. Now the word by and to has come, which we have to understand what would be the impact. Let's look into the remember part. In remember, it's clearly mentioned if to hyphen at whenever comes, you have to find the difference. That would be the profit or loss. But if the word by comes, straight away take that figure. Now in the second last example, asset is to be increased by 2,000. That means in the credit side, you will be writing 2,000. But in the last case, bills payable balance sheet, it is 2,000, but it has to be reduced to 1.5. That means your liability has reduced by what amount? By only 500. The word 2 has come, so you take the difference. So 500, again liability is going down, so it would be in the credit side. I hope you have got a good idea about revaluation. Now what are the challenges in revaluation? Usually students get confused with WCR, IFR and PDD. So in this particular slide, you will understand the entire thing about WCR. Let us understand what WCR means. It is workman compensation reserve, a reserve kept by the proprietor so that tomorrow if there is an employee getting injured, he can take the money out from there and use it. What is IFR? It's investment fluctuation reserve. Again, a businessman can invest in property, in shares. Now there can always be a fluctuation. That means the value can go down, and in business you always keep a IFR so that you cover that kind of losses. All right, now let us understand the WCR part. If in the sum there is no claim or there is no fluctuation, every reserve should be distributed among the partners in the old ratio. But if there is any adjustment, you have to understand. So what are the steps we will take while doing WCR and IFR? These are some common steps which you have to follow so that you never go wrong. First thing is the WCR amount 10,000 and IFR 20,000 has to be debited. That is our step number 1. Step number 2 is whatever is the claim or the fluctuation amount has to be credited. And third case is you have to see which side is bigger. Accordingly, you will use the revaluation or capital account. Let's look into the first example. The claim is 4,000. You have a WCR of 10,000. So as per the step 1, we are writing WCR debit 10,000. Step 2 is whatever is the claim, you have to write it down. So claim is 4,000. I have written it down in the credit side. Now I understand that out of reserve 10,000, 4,000 has been utilized. That means 6,000 reserve is there. It belongs to the partner. So I transfer it to partner's capital account. Same thing over here. Now the claim is 14,000. I will go with my step. The WCR has to be debited by 10. Claim has to be credited by 14. Now, because you don't have enough of reserves to cover this claim, that means you made a loss, and loss has to be recorded in revaluation. So you debited revaluation. So when you do the first and second step, the third step comes automatically. Just like the clear WCR, in investment has to be done in the similar way. IFR has to be debited first thing. So IFR, I have debited 20,000 in this case in your right hand side. The market value is 90,000. If you see in the balance sheet, the investment is 1 lakh. Now, since the market value is 90, that means there is a fluctuation of 10,000. You will credit it. You will be writing to investment 10,000. And importantly, now there is a 10,000 reserve left for you, which you have to give it to the partner. So I have credited it. Same thing, what happens if the fluctuation is more? This time the investment value, the market value is 70. That means there is a fluctuation of 30,000. Again, the same rule, IFR will be debited 20 to investment 30. This time there is you don't have enough of reserves to cover the loss. That is why you have to debit your revaluation by 10,000. I hope with this you understand WCR and IFR properly. Just like this, you have PDD. Now talking about PDD, PDD is the provision you make, keeping it, assuming that there might be any kind of loss in future with regards to your debtor. So PDD is also, I can say, is like a reserve, not exactly a reserve, but like a reserve. Now what happens if there is no PDD in the business at all and you have a bad debts? The journal entry is very simple. Whenever you have a bad debts, first thing is you minus it from your debtor. And second thing is it's a loss, you debit it in the revaluation. So that is the first thing which we have learned here. Now what happens if there is a PDD in the business? Let's say that the second case, if the PDD is sufficient, let's say there is a PDD, you have 1000 and the bad debts given is 700. That means you have enough of PDD to cover this bad debts. So how do you record it? Ideally, you will minus 700 from your debtor of 10,000. That's the first thing. And second thing is from the PDD of 1000, you will minus 700. So there is no revaluation impact in this one. Students usually make a mistake whenever they hear the word bad debt, straight away write it in the revaluation debit side. You have to be very careful when it comes to bad debts, especially when there is a PDD. All right. Now let's see the extreme right case. This time what happened? The bad debts is 1500. So we will go with our first step. 1500 would be minus from the debtor. And what is the second step? We have to compare it with the PDD. So you have only 1000 PDD and the bad debts is 1500. So your actual loss is what? 500. And that 500 where you are going to record in the revaluation. So this is how we do WCR, IFR and PDD in any chapter. Now, knowing the journal entries only will help you to do the posting. For example, over here, when you say WCR and IFR is been debited, you know what happens in the balance sheet? In balance sheet, you have a WCR and IFR, which has got a credit balance. So when you say you're debiting it over here, it gets disappeared from the balance sheet. This is what we have to understand. Now, what happens to the revaluation? Wherever you see the revaluation, you have to debit the revaluation account. Wherever you see the capital account, you have to credit it. And most importantly, wherever you see the claim, the claim is a liability, so put it in the liability side. And when you credit investment, you have to give a credit impact. How you do that? From investment you reduce it. Example, over here you got an investment of 1 lakh and they are saying that the market value is 90. So what did you do? You credited 10,000, right? So this 10,000 has to be minus from 1 lakh. That's how you show in the balance sheet this 90,000. All right. Now moving on to the next part. I have shown 27 journal transactions. I can assure you one thing, you will not get anything beyond this in your board exam. So please try to solve all the 27. If you have doubt, please WhatsApp me or send me an email. I will help you out. I will just help you with the initial 2 or 3. Let's look into the tough one. The fourth one is a bit tough to understand. Furniture was undervalued by 20%. I have put an hyphen and I have written furniture was undervalued by 1000. Now, whenever the word undervalue come, immediately students minus it, which is a wrong method of doing. You have to read the sentence completely. Furniture was undervalued. That means the accountant by mistake had undervalued the furniture. So that it only means that you have to increase the value of furniture now. So in this case, you will be increasing by what amount? By the amount 1000. So the furniture over here is shown 1 lakh. So because it was undervalued, you would be increasing it by 1000. That's one effect. That's a debit effect. And obviously it's a gain for you in the revaluation. You will be crediting it. Look into all the transactions. These are all repeated transactions in the board exam. Also, try to do these sums. I have given a hint over here. Try to do this sum. This will test your knowledge about revaluation with regards to your bad debts, with regards to your creditors, with regards to investment, with regards to WCR. A very simple one. It will hardly take 5 minutes. Please do these sums and share it with me. So revaluation is one thing which is useful for change in profit sharing, admission, retirement, death. If you're thorough with revaluation, you can recap all the 4 chapters in 10 minutes. Thank you.